Steve Jobs, a man that needs very little introduction. He was the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Apple, as well as the chairman of Pixar. Sadly, Jobs left us in 2011 and was succeeded by Tim Cook as CEO of Apple. He's one of the most celebrated and studied entrepreneurs of our modern world. Despite being controversial, he was a pioneer of the personal computer revolution of the 1970s and 80s. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be showing you what Steve Jobs taught me about quitting alcohol. And guys, just before we actually do that, if you want to get access to a free video training that shows you how to get immediate control of your drinking with a completely new method that doesn't rely on AA or therapy or rehab or anything like that, please click the link in the description. You'll put your name and email address in, and then a video will start playing that shows you a completely new way of doing things. It's already helped people from NASA, from Google, from JP Morgan, and that video will blow you away. Please click the link down below. And now let's get into the video. So the first rule is not to live a limited life, but to understand this, we're going to have to play a short clip from Jobs now.
When you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it. You can influence it. You can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again.
A very famous clip, but there's 4 things here that relate so strongly to not drinking alcohol. Now, the first thing that he talks about is that we're told the world is the way that it is. And then he starts using the example of just kind of living that typical life. Pay your bills, save your money, have your family, and die. Now, his example was, in the broad scheme of things, but we're also kind of told about alcohol as well. We're told that it's a good thing, it's a good drink, it's a nice drink. It's what you do when you celebrate, you got your champagne, you're going to cheers people. When you go out with the boys, you have a pint. When you go for a date, you order the wine. If you're feeling a bit sophisticated, you get your old fashioned. We're told that the world is the way it is. And unless you question things, you don't see any alternative. And when it comes to alcohol, right? Unless we start questioning things, then we're just going to buy into this nonsense. Which leads me to the second point. And basically what Jobs is saying is that, and when he starts talking about how the world is built by people no smarter than you, he's really questioning everything. He's really saying, is this all that life is? He's really just doing critical thinking and giving himself permission to grow and to succeed and to create new things and to create value in the world, instead of just kind of being handed life and saying, well, there you go, you live this way. No, he said, you know what? Does it really need to be that way? He did critical thinking. And here's the thing is, why can't you do this with alcohol? This is a man that's had more success than 99.999% of the population. And he's saying that he questioned things and realized that, why not me as well? And here's the thing with alcohol, there are people out there that aren't as smart as you. They've drank more than you. They've tried to stop drinking more times than you and failed more times than you, yet they get sober. So like Jobs is saying, you can build and create things. And there's people out there that aren't as intelligent as you, that had less likelihood of succeeding, and they did it. The exact same with alcohol. There are people out there that are less intelligent, less ambitious, less motivated. They've drank more than you, yet they still managed to do it. And I really think what Jobs is saying is, why not me as well? Which leads me to the 4th thing. And basically what he starts talking about is that you can poke life, and you can put something in and something comes out. He's really just talking about the law of cause and effect, right? You do things and then an effect happens. But the problem is that when we drink alcohol, we're not able to do the inputs as well as we could without drinking, right? But really what he's saying is that you can be more, right? You can be somebody better. You can be somebody more powerful. You can become somebody stronger, and you can change, right? You can change. It's not too late to change. You can still do this. I think it's an amazing clip. But now let's get into the next clip and break this one down. This one's going to be even better.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing. And it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard. And you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion.
Now, this video spoke to me. Now, obviously, he's kind of talking about business and building things and being obsessive, but this is so relevant to not drinking alcohol. Recently, I made a video talking about an individual that I met who was 34 years of age and he has never touched a drop of alcohol. And I explained in the video, and if you actually click the link up here and down in the description, I'll link it in the description. If you click that video, you can watch it. But basically, this individual's conviction and the way that he viewed alcohol was so strong that there was nothing. He even said when we met that if somebody offered him a drink, he'd knock them out. He was so convinced that alcohol was poison, and he started talking about it, and it was like listening to my own inner dialogue. Right? He was extremely passionate about this because we live in a world that's trying to get him to think a different way. So when I saw that level of conviction that he had, I loved it. I was so happy for him. And that's what you need. You need passion. If you're not drinking alcohol, you need to passionately see it for what it is. You need to see it as BS, as nonsense, as poison. There's something that's doing nothing for you, because guess what's going to happen if you don't? Somebody is going to try and influence you that it is good, that it's a nice drink. Let's celebrate today, man. Come on, you've just had some great success at work this week. Let's have a few pints. Somebody out there is going to be doing this. Somebody out there is going to try and market it to you a certain way. Somebody out there is going to get you to drink. And unless you passionately believe that it is going to do F all for you, who knows what's going to happen? And if you can see Jobs, he's passionate. You can see the belief that he's got. He's borderline insane in a good way, right? And that, to me, is a requirement. That, to me, is a requirement, because once you see it for what it is, you will feel passionate. You'll feel annoyed. You'll feel annoyed at yourself and at what's been going on for most of your adult life. That's a great thing. That's why it's so easy for me to make these videos, because I feel passionate about it. It pisses me off to see people drinking alcohol. Like, it genuinely upsets me, because they don't realize that when they remove alcohol, everything in their life will get better. Anyway, guys, if you click the video on the screen now, you can learn what Tupac also taught me about not drinking alcohol.